Hey everyone, Theo here. In this video, I'm reviewing the Kiiboom Jade 75, a 75% wireless mechanical keyboard. First of all, disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company, and in this video, I'll just present to you my findings so that you can decide whether this is worth the money. A few days ago, I saw the retail price of $200, but right now it's selling for $170, probably because it's the Amazon Prime Week. You have the option to buy this keyboard with either the clear design, which is the one that I have, or the white design. The difference is for the white design, the characters are facing down instead of facing up. I have tested keyboards without any text on the keys, with the text facing down before, and I realized that I still prefer to have the characters facing up. Alright, bottom line up front. The main selling points for this keyboard is the extreme build quality. It's really well made, and for US $170 or $200, it has to be really well made. The finishing is glossy, it's really smooth, and this translucent design actually looks pretty cool. So when you enable the RGB lighting, the whole keyboard will glow, including the sides and the bottom. So this translucent design is for the whole thing, except for this metal plate here, just below the function keys. The RGB lighting is really beautiful because of the translucent keys that makes the keyboard looks like it's glowing in the dark, and you can adjust the lighting very easily using keyboard shortcuts. Typing experience is good. This keyboard uses the Kiiboom crystal switches, which is transparent. It's a linear type switch. The sound is, I would say, dampened. It's not too sharp. Now this keyboard is actually slightly wider compared to other keyboards that I have tested, so it took me some time to get used to the layout. For example, when I want to press delete, sometimes I would press F12. Yeah, because the delete button is supposed to be here. Downsides, if you're using RGB lighting all the time, the battery life is only 2 days. If you do not use the RGB light, the battery life can last for many days. And unfortunately, I do not have the exact number of days because it's something that's quite difficult for me to test. This keyboard can be paired to 3 devices using Bluetooth. This can use a 2.4 GHz wireless connection. But the USB-A wireless receiver cannot be stored on the keyboard because they don't have the storage space for that receiver. So that's a downside. This is a keyboard that you will know instantly whether you like or not based on the design. And I do find the design to be quite interesting. I like the frosted look, the translucent look, and when you have the lights enabled, when you use the pastel lights, you get this pearlescent look, which is quite interesting. So whether it's worth the money, well, you guys can decide. I do feel like it's a really well-made keyboard and works well. Alright, on to the full review. Let's take a look at the items in the box. The packaging box is quite big and everything is very safely packed inside. These are the things you will find in the box besides the keyboard. We have the user guide with all the keyboard shortcuts, and you can download this as a PDF from their website. A very big piece of microfiber cleaning cloth, a screwdriver, 1 Allen key, this keycap and switch puller, 2 Kiiboom crystal switches, extra keycaps for Mac users, and this 2-meter long USB-C to USB-A charging cable. And this cable has this little attachment here that holds the 2.4 GHz USB-A wireless receiver. And this attachment can be detached quite easily, so this can actually fall off quite easily. So do not lose this. This is the Kiiboom crystal switch. I'm just going to put the specifications for the switch by the side of the screen right now because I cannot remember all the numbers. Here's a close-up on how the keycaps look, and they are very glossy. Let's take a closer look at the design of this keyboard, which looks very different compared to other keyboards I have reviewed. And this is a very heavy keyboard, and the build quality is extremely solid, even though it's not made with metal. Even though the body is not made with metal, and there is this mirror plate at the back, which is very susceptible to fingerprints. And the whole design, as you can see, is translucent. You can almost see the circuit board inside. There are 4 rubber feet on the back, and this is the metal plate. And this is the switch for switching between different connections. You can connect this keyboard with 3 Bluetooth devices, or you can switch to 2.4 GHz connection. But there is no storage space on this keyboard to store the 2.4 GHz USB-A receiver, so that is actually a downside here. This feels like metal, and it seems like to take out or to disassemble the keyboard, you have to unscrew this and maybe lift this up before you can pull everything out. But I did not actually disassemble this keyboard. So on the front, you can see the translucent design, and there's this plate here, which is metal, if I'm not wrong. So this is the only part that is not made with the resin. And you can see this keyboard is very glossy. The edges are beveled. Wow, this is really heavy. Let me just put this down. So this is the clear design with the translucent keys, or you can buy the white keyboard with the opaque keys, but the letters are in front. I find that it looks better with the letters facing up. And did I mention the keys are also quite glossy? This is a 75% keyboard with 80 hot swappable keys, and there is home, page up, page down, but no N here. And I realized the function keys here are actually wider. They take up more space because of the spacing in between the function keys. So if we take a look at this other keyboard that I have, the spacing here is smaller. So the keys are actually less narrow, and the delete key here is above the backspace. But for this keyboard, the delete key is actually at the diagonal angle. So sometimes when typing, I want to press delete, I will press F12 instead. So that is one thing I have to get used to. For Mac users, this button will be right option. So a typical Mac keyboard will have Command, Option, Shift, but for this keyboard, when you're using with the Mac layout, it's going to be right option, function, Shift. So some of the keyboard shortcuts that you need to use will not be possible because you need that Command button, but this is not Command, this is right option. The keys require slightly more pressure to press compared to my other keyboards, but overall the typing experience is good. I'm able to type quite accurately on this keyboard. As for the sound, I think it sounds alright. When you press the function key, some keys will light up to show you some information. For example, right now I am connected to Bluetooth device 3. Q is device 1, W is device 2, and if I switch to 2.4 GHz, R will light up. And A means I'm using the Windows keyboard layout. S is for Mac keyboard layout. So let's go back to Windows. And you can lock the Windows key as well. Just press this to lock the Windows key. To enable the lights, just press function backspace. To switch between different lighting patterns, function backslash. To adjust the brightness of the lights, you can press function up or down. To adjust the speed of the animation, function left or right. To check the battery life, function enter, sorry, not function enter, function backspace, sorry, space bar. And right now it's at 90% battery life. And to change the light for the sides, it's function Z. Yeah, so you can change the lights very easily using all these keyboard shortcuts. The beautiful glowing effect is definitely one of the main selling points for this keyboard. You can disable the side lights as well if you want to. And this is how the back looks. And I like this pastel color scheme. So the area between the function keys and the number keys is the area that will not light up because of the metal plate. The lights definitely look better when the room is dark rather than when the room is brightly lit. I did not test this keyboard with VIA customization, so I can't tell you how that actually works. Okay, downsides. Battery life for this keyboard, if you have the lights on all the time, is just 2 days. If you disable the lights or use the lights only at night, the battery life can last longer, but I don't have a definite number of hours or days or weeks that I can say, that I can tell you, because I did not test the keyboard to the extent that the keyboard battery drains completely. So this design is something you will know instantly whether you like or not. And to conclude, I'll say this is a good keyboard that works well. It's beautiful in its own way. So if you guys are interested to buy this, you can check out the purchase links in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.